the first business of every business is to remain in business and proliferate that business. But they think that there cannot be expansion without any hera-pheri or without any jugaad. But it is not like that. You can remain in business and still proliferate for years together, because we have got the examples like Tata's and Infosys and all. So it can be done. So I want to give them the message that the people may think that you cannot do business when you are honest. That is only a wrong thinking. You can still be honest and you can still progress exponentially with all good corporate governance practices. And when you mean that, there are so many guidance people guiding you are available in the market.
Everyone, I am Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Perfect Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story, where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Mr. Satish Bhattu. He is an accomplished professional with a diverse educational background and sensitive industry experience, holding a fellow of the Institute of Company Secretary of India (FCS) qualification. He has pursued further studies including an LLM in environment laws, MSc in chemistry, and certification as a CSR professional. So his education journey also includes a diploma in international contract negotiation, draft and enforcement. So with over 4 decades of industry experience, he has a rich background that encompasses roles as a research chemist and a company secretary in a Swiss-based MNC, Clariant Chemicals, located in Mumbai. Since 2015, he has been practicing as a company secretary and environmentalist in Mumbai. So his contribution and expertise to the field. Moreover, his passion for education has led him to become a visiting faculty member at the Institute of Company Secretary of India, ICSI, and SkillArbitrage, LawSikho, where he imparts knowledge on corporate governance ESG to aspiring independent directors. Additionally, he serves as a member of the advisory board of Edsom, Fintech in Pune, further showcasing his commitment to fostering growth and development in various domains. So today he would be discussing with us about his life journey. So let us hear from him. Welcome, Satish sir. The platform is open, and now over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy that I am interacting with you always on the LawSikho platform also. But there, the interaction is very limited to the role of the directors and all. But here you have opened the topic which is very close to my heart, because I have graduated in biology in 1973, and I was university rank holder there. And thereafter, I was a national scholar during MSc, and I have done my MSc in organic chemistry. And because I was granted national scholarship, at that time it was quite a sizable amount, and that has given me the element that I owe something to the nation. And that particular thing constantly remained in me till the time arrived when I can actually give it back. Because till I retired, I was busy with our mundane activities of upbringing children and their marriages and everything, and which typically our middle class families do in the country. Right. But that the very idea that I have to give something back to the nation, which has supported me in the prime time of my education, that was something which was deep rooted in my thought process. And then I realized that I am a biologist also, I am a chemist also, I am a lawyer also, I am an environmentalist also, and I am a company secretary also. What I can do in spite of going in a traditional way of earning money to the professionalism, because that we can do endlessly, and there is no end to that. But that idea has given me that I must do something extra than others, then that idea of giving educating the people surrounding me, because I had realized that most of the people who are less educated, and I am more educated compared to them, that I always thank God for giving me opportunity. God has given me opportunity to learn more, but it is my moral duty to give the same information to those who are less educated. That was a predominant thought lurking in me when I was teaching in ICSI in the year 1990s. Also, I was teaching company law to the students, fellow
Right.
students, and that was ultimately my decision that I must participate in the society, not as a practicing company secretary, although I registered as a practicing company secretary, but I started participating only in giving lectures and giving the information based on my expertise as well as my experience. Experience is very vital in corporate line, and that I am doing for last almost 30 years, I can say. Simultaneously, I was doing my company secretaryship and this giving lectures also. That has given me another opportunity in LawSikho also, because I was doing very recently that diploma in international contract management, contract negotiation, drafting and enforcement, and there I scored 80% marks.
Wow.
So based on that, they have actually I was going to do the earning from foreign countries for drafting the agreements and all. But based on my marks, they had offered me the position that are you ready to become a faculty here? I said okay, because that immediately resonated with my earlier thought process, and I quickly said them okay, no problem, I can postpone my earning. So there is, because earning is of no that much value to me, because I am a retired person and my children are settled. And then I found that I had to be in US, and at that time there was a COVID problem. I was actually detained in US for 9 months in that COVID time. But there I realized that biologist in me, after 50 years, is still active in me. And then I started that what is the biological effect of the thinking process of our professional tensions and stress. I started thinking on that, and then I decided that simultaneously with the giving of the professional education, I must give them the glimpses that how that their health is controlled by the professional thinking process on their cellular biology of the individual. So that is very important because after all, after the age of 50, your health is very important, because till that time your health is maintained automatically and you don't have to do anything extra for that. And after 50, you have to take care of your health, your own health. So that my biology knowledge has helped me there, and being a chemist, I can understand the effect of whatever we eat, how it is going to affect us. And then I realized that we have to maintain these two chemicals, the dopamine, serotonin, and control the adrenaline. These are the enzymes generated in our body. Whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not, these enzymes are generated in body depending upon the circumstances what we are facing. So I can correlate this biological knowledge with the professional expertise and give them the formula how to control the stress and strain. So that is my overall ambition, I can say, that I must achieve the good health, because when your health is disturbed, you have to go to a doctor. There is no doubt about it. But we should have our own mechanism such that we don't have to go to doctor unnecessarily for everything.
Correct.
That is what is my purpose of giving these lectures also. And because simultaneously I cannot give them the professional knowledge and health knowledge, but whenever there is occasion, when I am interacting personally with the person, with my students and my peers, I am giving this knowledge to them that how they should control their health, what is the mechanism of the whole thinking process on your biology, your heartbeats, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, everything. Because I understand in a nutshell everything. When I'm thinking as a professional, I know how it is affecting my chemistry. That knowledge I want to dissipate in the years to come. That is the purpose for which I want to use my further years. And being an environmentalist, I have participated many times in institutions. Souvenirs, I have published my articles. I even participated in the international conferences also. And I am stressing that stressing through as a CSR professional also to the companies that the CSR funds should to be utilized for the education of the people, because there is a lot of difference between the awareness of the experts in the field and the general people, and because of their unawareness only they are generating unnecessary waste that can be controlled by teaching them. And I am always advising the CSR expenditures to be directed towards giving education about the environment.
Right.
This is the brief background within this periphery I want to operate in the further years also. Yeah.
Right. That's really wonderful. You have shared so lots of things about you. Like now, I want to ask you. First thing is, how did your past life has affected the person you actually wanted to be in your life? When you were growing, you would be having certain thoughts, and what you are. So, what is the distinction between both the things?
Yes. Actually, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a surgeon. That is why I have taken BSc biology line. But I missed it by 1 or 2%. But that has activated biologist in me. But God has given me opportunity that my son himself has become a surgeon. And now, because he wanted to be engineer, but because in that year particularly, there was a written test based on written test only, CET. That CET started from that year only, and based on his physics and chemistry marks, he got admission in medical. So we had taken admission in electronics engineering in Mumbai, but then we have asked them to get the certificates back and then taken admission. He was in the merit list of government of Maharashtra, and he got admission in Sion Hospital. He did MBBS from Sion Hospital with 68% marks. And then he also got Tata scholarship for MS. He had done MS in JJ Hospital. Then he became a urologist, super specialist urologist. And then now he is in US doing, he has already completed his robotic surgery education. And his last academic rank was second in the world. So whatever trouble I had that I could not become doctor, that was not there after that. But I can use my knowledge of biology, and whatever I feel I have some queries about it, I can get it clear from the medical field, because all his MBBS and MS books are already here with me. I can open that, and because I am a biologist, like that, I have complete command on my own thinking that wherever there is no any query, where I can solve it. And this is how I get updated in the field of chemistry also, in the field of biology also, and in the field of company secretarial activities. So as I am teaching in ICSI, I have to be updated with SEBI regulations and company law amendments and all. And that is a very jerky area. And only experts can deal with that, because otherwise the penalties are very heavy. And those who are actually on that position of a compliance officer, he has not only to have the working knowledge, but he must have a expert knowledge. That is very essential. Otherwise, you are putting the position of the company also in trouble. So from that point of view, I have to update myself as a faculty also. And this is how I remain in touch in that field also. But my actual profession is company secretaryship, and that I am doing it also. But simultaneously, my knowledge of biology and chemistry has helped me in understanding the chemistry of the corporate governance, because corporate governance always begins with the individual governance, and that I am always stressing that if you want to have any good corporate governance, control your individual governance, because a corporate entity is not going to act itself, but it is only acting to the individual. So individuals must have good governance, and all that way I am at ease in articulating my affairs. And so this is how I feel that different knowledge, diversified knowledge from different fields has helped me in keeping myself comfortable. And I want to keep my professional brothers also comfortable in their life as professionals. Because if you are understanding the whole process in a very systematic way, you will be always at ease in handling your own affairs. Because if you are just mucking up and doing then when some unusual thing happens, you will be jittery. But if you understand right from the beginning in a very systematic way, you will be comfortable, and you will be yourself doing that, and and that will increase your confidence also. And that is what I am trying to do in my students at LawSikho also, and in Company Secretary Institute also. I may have trained more than 50-60 batches of the company secretaries throughout India. And yours is a second batch of the aspiring independent directors. I'm very happy to interact with you. Yeah, because I know you personally through my sessions also.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. So, sir,
Yeah.
if I ask you like things you are passionate about in your life, what are those? And what is
Yeah.
the role of motivation and inspiration onto it in your life?
Yeah, you see, I remember when you asked this question, I remember that John Derek, he has given one theory that you need to be motivated only in the field which you don't like. Because if you are in the area of your passion, you don't need any motivation. You are 24 hours energetic. So you don't need any motivation. You are working on the self motivation. And when somebody has to be motivated means he has some internal resistance, internal biological resistance for that, which needs some external help. So when you are doing your own passion, you hardly need any motivation. And I have found the student company secretaries, they are a little bit worried about their when they will get job, how it will happen. And I said from that area also you choose which you like the most. Don't think that now that doesn't have any financial market. That market will automatically come to you, because when you will be harnessing your own passion, your supply of energy internally will be 24 hours and unending. So at that area, you will not need any motivation. Otherwise, you have to assume that when you need motivation for something means you have some internal resistance, and that has to be identified. There is a process for that, psychological process for that also. So we have to check whether I need any motivation. And once that answer is yes, that means you have some internal resistance for that, because you are doing something which you don't like. You are doing something for which you are not passionate. So this is the indicator of that. Otherwise, we can motivate anybody, but that motivation will not remain for a very longer time, and it will come back to its original position. So I would recommend everyone to identify his own passion and travel in that line. You see, because in our country, people think that we are so many jobless and all. Wherever I have my passion, there is no market for that. It is all not like that. If you see the history of those people who are very successful, they are successful because they have followed their passion rather than what is in the market. That market will automatically shift to you, because you will have your internal supply of energy 24 hours, because you cannot sit quiet. You will continuously do, and in a motivated person, that much energy will not be available. It has to be externally given by the motivators. That thing you keep in mind, and that will help everybody for that matter. Yeah.
Right. So, further, if I ask you, sir, about your work and experiences, you have shared already. So, I just want to know, like, how was your journey? What all you did so far? In a brief.
Yeah. See, in 1975, I joined Color Chem Limited, which was a German collaborated company, as a research chemist, because it was based on my written test and interview and all, because I was in merit in my university there also. So there was no problem for me in getting there. And I got immediately, because out of 200 people, 5 people were selected. And out of Mumbai, I was the only out of Mumbai person selected there based on merit. But I started doing very good also. But there I realized that there are the promotion chances are not there that much, because I am not PhD. And this is how it started dragging effect. And then in 82, after getting son, my son was 1 month old when I took admission in Evening Law College. And then I did my LLB for 3 years. And some students doing LLB with me, they were doing CS also. They said, your personality is that of a legal personality. You are in the wrong field. Why don't you become CS? And I said, I don't have any commerce background. I am not BCom also. But then they said, that is not a very difficult thing, because your personality is really oriented towards legal line only. And then somehow reluctantly, they only filled up my form, and after LLB, I started doing CS. And one group I cleared immediately within 6 months, because it was some general law topics and all. But second group, where there was a company accounts papers and all, that was a problem for me. And the real journey started there only. And I could complete, I passed CS after 9 years. Actually, But it was a nightmare journey for me because I was completely traveling in the darkness, but under my own reflex actions, because that field was giving me every day some new knowledge which I did not have as a technical person. And the company was also watching, our managing director, company secretaries, they were knowing that this technical person, there is one chemist in our factory who is doing company secretaryship. So he is getting failures, but he is not leaving that. So when I passed and went to the director, giving him pedals, then he asked me, "What is your plan, Mr. Bhattu?" I just told him blankly, I don't know where from I got that courage. But I said, it really depends on your plan, sir. And then he said, what you want? Then I said, just transfer me to head office in secretarial department. That's all. That is only my wish. By that time, I had already completed 20 years of my career as a technical person. But I was very fortunate that the company also immediately helped me. Without any delay, they helped me. And I had a further career of 20 years in the same company in the legal department as a company secretary. So, in the same company, foreign collaborated company, I had a career as a research chemist and as a company secretary in legal department. So I was exposed to almost everything in the company, because right from boardroom to the shop floor, and I had first-hand experience of that, and I really enjoyed that. And because of that experience from the same company, such a prolonged exposure, it has given me the identity that yes, I can give coaching in respect of corporate affairs, in respect of board meetings, in respect of corporate decisions, how the board of directors function, what are the laws, which are the controlling laws, which are just desirable and mandatory laws, like that, you see. And that has given me complete exposure to all these things. And I really enjoyed that also, those 40 years also. And thereafter also, I am enjoying that I am able to recollect that experience and manage the things in a better way, because I have experience in the different fields. And because generally the people from commerce, they don't have any technical knowledge, but because of my backing of a technical knowledge, I could enjoy even the production lines, the environment lines. I have worked in environment laboratory for 9 years. So we'll controlling how the environment pollution can be prevented by adjusting the batches in such a way that final output which is going to the municipal nala, it can be controlled. Accordingly, the batches are to be adjusted. All that analysis we were doing, because it was a research activity only. So that I did for 9 years almost, until I passed my CS. So I got there the exposure to the MPCB, facing the MPCB, and about related to water pollution in solid waste generation, how it used to be disposed of, air pollution, etc. Then environment audit was there, and all that helped me in working in the head office when I was sitting in the board of directors and giving them the data related to the pollution control. Because from that day, gradually the importance of ESG has increased too much, and my own personal knowledge about it has kept me always ahead of others, because I have the combined knowledge and experience of both the things. And naturally, I have qualifications, corresponding qualifications also. That has helped me, and I want to help the inspiring directors, as you are in that batch now, second batch, because so many frauds are happening. Because and the law has also realized that our statutory audits are also not sufficient to control the frauds happening. So it is a mechanism by the government itself, so that the audit mechanism should be implanted in the boardroom itself, and that is in the form of a sufficient number of independent directors. And because I have worked in the boardroom for such a long time, I am able to understand what are the nuances of that, and my students will definitely carry those things. And I feel, to my mind, that I am doing some national job, and that gives me a satisfaction. My both children are out of India. My son is in US. He is a robotic surgeon, as I said, and my daughter is also in Moody's company. She is engineer turned into a finance guy, and she is the associate director in Moody's London office. Yeah. So they are always calling me there. But that very first idea which I described, that I have to do something for my nation, because nation has supported me in my prime age when I was studying. So, and this activity is helping me that way. That is why I want to continue like this. If you have any suggestions related to this, those are also most welcome. Yeah.
Really wonderful, sir. So
Yeah.
further, if I ask you like your vision, mission, and goal in life for next 5 to 10 years, some of the
Yeah.
things you have already highlighted, but is still
Yeah.
asking you this.
Yeah, my aim is that I always wish that all the independent directors are coming through my studentship, so that they will get the lessons of honesty, integrity, and the sense of nationality. That is why my vision and mission for myself for the next 20 years till the end, I can say. Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. So now, like moving on next one, what are the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal as well as professional journey so far?
Yeah, we have to be very honest for the purpose. The purpose must be very clear to us. And if our own strata is not resonating with that, we have to identify the reason for that. And if you think that this is not the best line for you, you have to change it also. But wherever you do, whatever you do, you must be honest to the purpose, and it should be an inclusive thing. Means if you are thinking only of yourself as a person, then perhaps your journey may be a very short journey. But if you are including your purpose, the others' welfare also, then it has no end as such, because as the system will advance, your progress will automatically happen. You don't have to separately pray for that to the God. That much I will definitely say to my students and followers. I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderfully explained. So, sir, since you've been working on like board positions for long and you have been a trainer again for long, so on to your experience and expertise, I would like to ask you, like, why is corporate governance so important for startups these days, and how they can implement effective practices from the beginning?
Yeah, because you see, in the startups, their main goal initially is earning the profit, because that is the purpose of the business. So they have to focus on that, and when they are focusing on that, then perhaps they may lose track of the corporate governance. So at that initial stage itself, they must get a sufficient training about what are the right nuances of corporate governance, and then they will pick up everything. Because the first business of every business is to remain in business and proliferate that business. But they think that there cannot be expansion without any hera-pheri or without any jugaad. But it is not like that. You can remain in business and still proliferate for years together, because we have got the examples like Tata's and Infosys and all. So it can be done. So I want to give them the message that the people may think that you cannot do business when you are honest. That is only a wrong thinking. You can still be honest, and you can still progress exponentially with all good corporate governance practices. And when you mean that, there are so many guidance people guiding you are available in the market. That much message I will give. Yeah,
that's really important. Like each startup, if they start practicing corporate governance from the beginning, that will not only like make them the startup of the desire, like people would be thinking them to be a more like robust organization, but it will also give them the strength from the, we can say, grassroots level. So that strength will help them to grow and flourish for a longer period. So that is also one important thing. So, sir, how to integrate these ESG principles into startup culture, and what are the challenges for and benefits of these ECG policies?
Yeah, I would, for that I have planned
ESG policies.
Yeah, ESG policy, that the good companies having good CSR budget, they should invest in ESG related education, because it is coming in the boundaries of that Schedule 7 of the Companies Act. So they should give the awareness of ESG not only to the schools and colleges, but also to startups also. So that because initially they need this help. Once they become of a good sizable, they can engage the expert by themselves. But till that time, I would recommend that good companies should spend CSR amount in educating the startups, and government is already doing by itself. Government itself is doing that, but even I would say that good companies should spend their CSR amount for educating the startup company related to the ESG aspects, and it has already acquired a very important dimension in the life of corporate India. Yeah, and if this happens, it will be on a very successful trajectory.
Correct. So peer supporting peer mentoring peer. That would be the best practice possible, because not only these large corporates would create a significant impact on the startup ecosystem, but that ecosystem would also boost in a way that these startups would be more stronger, more robust in terms of these policies, and also they would expand the more and more jobs would create. So that would be the wonderful thing possible. So, onto this further, like how to measure and report ESG practices and performance of the company, and what are the best practices startups can follow.
Government has taken every measure, because government, I would appreciate government for one thing, that they have vision about the ESG system and all, and at the right point they are inserting the things that companies should follow this. They should not only follow, but they should report it. They should not only report in the annual report, but they should be reporting in the website itself, which is all the 24 hours available to the people. Because annual report, somewhere it may go but when it is on the website, it will be always available and to everybody. And that is the first thing the government has started. But you see, in the course of time, what will happen? Because ESG is being acquiring very high dimension abroad also. The other companies which are importing from your country, they will see your ESG status, and based on that they will decide whether to deal with this company or not. And getting funds also, first they will see your ESG profile. There will be ESG audit. I have already written an article 2 years back on this, which is published in our institute's souvenirs. And if these kind of things are followed, which requires your minute-to-minute attention to check whether you are on the right track or not. And when you are following the guidelines, you will be automatically on the good lines. Every corporate organization, for that matter. But at the same time, I have told you that it always begins with the individual governance. Yeah.
Right, sir. Yeah. So before moving on to the next one, I just want to want you to add some more details on corporate governance and ESG policy. So, in a brief way, that any new startup or a person who is coming for the first time on a startup journey can understand what exactly is this and how they can implement it in a nutshell.
Yeah. You see, the very first thing is that they are the new startups. Entrepreneurs are very highly energetic. They know the plan how to do make the business successful, because then only they enter the scene. But because they are not aware of the way in which business is to be conducted so as to be compliant with the laws of the land, they need the guidance of the professionals like company secretary, chartered accountants, cost accountants, and when they will be under consultation of all these people, they will have exposure to what is a good corporate governance requirement and all. So naturally, while registering their company itself, from that point onwards, they are in touch with the professionals and ask them about what are the further steps required for the next 2 years down the line. Sir, give us the lines point wise that after 2 months we have to see this, after 3 months we have to see this. And when this kind of a manual is given to them, they have to just follow that, because they will not have that much knowledge and expertise and inclination also towards learn by themselves. So naturally, initially they have to take the help of the professionals, which they should not miss out, because what they do, they only incorporate the company and then start doing themselves, and then they come in trouble, and then there are lapses in filing of their annual reports and all these things, because they are completely unaware of that. So I would always suggest them to be in touch with the persons with whose help they have done the incorporation of the company, at least for next 2 years. because they will get a good guidelines from them because they have the day-to-day mechanism to update themselves. So naturally they will guide you. You should not leave them immediately after that. And after 2-3 years, you have also done the business. You have understood what are the nitty-gritties, and based on what I have done last year, you can do this year. That type of a thing can be done by yourself, but only after 3-4 years. But till that time, the startups must be in touch with the professionals. Maybe this may not be the same individual because he may not have willingness, or he may be out of town, he may be out of country also. But some professional you have to consult. That much I would definitely advise the startup people. Yeah, but they are highly energetic and they have the business plan. About their business plan, there cannot be any doubt about it, and every business will be successful. But some strategy is required to keep the business on for several years. They need this guidance. Yeah,
correct. Rightly said, sir. And also, when somebody is like doing a startup for the first time, so might possibly they would not be aware of corporate governance, ESG policies, framework, and other related issues like HR as well. That is also one important pillar of the organization. So, what role of these experts, as in like CA, CS, they can play is they can guide these entrepreneurs at the very first stage that you are going for this journey. So these are additional things you can implement in your organization that can not only like help and support you in terms of the compliance part, but it will also help you in terms of making your organization more better in the eyes of the people who are like seeing you as a startup, or people who are like considering you as a startup. If you follow these, your like rating in terms of like we can say rating for people to assess you as a startup would definitely go up on a higher note.
Yes.
Right, sir.
That Edsom Fintech, it is a startup only, but it is an award-winning startup. They have got award through the hands of Kiran Bediji. She has given award to them. Yeah. So, and they invited me as a professional advisor. I was very glad to do that because I have also the same aim that I must give guidance to the startups because they are blank about it. So they must be under guidance for some days at least for some years. Then on their own they can pick up, and later on they can do themselves. But the initial support has to be there, and we are ready to do it.
Correct. So now moving on to the next one. So what is your take on success? What do you feel about it?
Yeah, no doubt. According to that Maslow's theory, our basic needs are to be fulfilled. And those things are fulfilled by our parents till we are students. But then later on, after studentship, we have to do it on our own. But that doesn't need much. We have, after fulfillment of our basic desires, we must know that everything belongs to the state. I am only the user of that. So you must have thinking about others also. While doing the business also, you must know that what are the things which are contributing to the social needs. We are manufacturing something because it is needed in the society. It is needed any manufacturing activity. It is only supplying the goods to them. You are giving services to that. So you have to choose that activity which is constantly needed. Because if you are manufacturing TV, then one person needs TV only once in 5-10 years. But if you are manufacturing a toothpaste, then it is a consumable item and it is needed every day. So you have to choose between these lines, and that is the very intelligence of the businessman, which business to choose. And about that, they have their own inherent instincts. Because when they are coming with that instinct, then only they will be very successful in the business. But that has to be adjusted through the corporate governance lines, and it will be an ongoing affair. Yeah.
Right, sir. So we are on last one. Any message or advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, the very first message is that they should be very honest to themselves first. And when that happens, then you are honest to your own family. Then you are automatically honest to your mohalla, your nation, And after all, it is the honesty towards others only, because when we are, for example, if we are manufacturing chemicals, then we must know that we are only deriving profits out of selling chemicals, but we are polluting the atmosphere, and that has to be done in a very methodical way so that there is no pollution. So we have to be honest to the society in which we are operating, and when we have that element of honesty, how it is to be implemented, that advice is always available, because there are people already holding expertise in that line, and we have to take them the help of the experts, but you have to take that proactive measure to approach them. Yeah.
Right, sir. Rightly pointed
That
out.
is the first. Yeah.
So we had a really amazing discussion on corporate governance, how these policies can be implemented in the startup journey from the beginning itself, and it can really help startups to grow and perform better overall. And this is really important and wonderful thing, sir. And your knowledge and experience is really commendable. You have shared so many wonderful things today about your journey and how these things the corporates implementing and getting benefit out of it. So really wonderful. I am thankful to you, sir, and looking forward to hear more from you again soon. And thank you so very much for your time and energy.
Thank you. I am also very thankful to you for holding this session and reaching my voice to those who really need it as a startup company and all others. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you.
I wish
once
best of luck
again.
to all of them. Yeah.
Sure, sir. I will also share your social media link along with the interview so that people can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance also. So, guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and have a good time. Thank you and bye-bye.